honestly, Arne Slot should be arrested. It's absolutely baffling. I genuinely can't explain that to you guys. That is not acceptable. Literally hiding. He doesn't make an attempt at all. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to The Golden Sky. I'm Tom, and in today's video, I am going to analyse Liverpool's 1-1 draw at home to Sunderland that took place last night at Anfield, where Liverpool were so disappointing. And I'm telling you this at the start of the video straight away, if Arne Slot keeps playing football to this standard, he will get sacked as Liverpool manager. Mark my words. If the football doesn't improve, he will get sacked, because this was diabolical, and the fans, if they haven't already, will turn against him. I've got loads and loads and loads to show you. We're going to go through all the clips from the game that I've pulled out, highlighting everything that I think is wrong with what we did yesterday. Maybe some stuff in there that we actually did okay. So, loads to show you. Let's get into it and not waste any more time. Start the video off. Alright, so first example of something I'm going to show you today, and I've rewatched this game today, being Thursday, and there are countless examples of this exact thing that I'm going to show you now to start the video off. I could have shown you 50 different clips that all look the exact same, like this one, because our first half performance in this game is just not acceptable. It's not how Liverpool play football at home under any level of form against any club, let alone Sunderland. And it's important that for this video you remember Liverpool are the champions of England who spent £450 million in the summer. Sunderland are the newly promoted side who came up via the playoffs. Haven't been in the Premier League for almost a decade. Remember that. This is Roofs with the ball, stood with his studs on top of the ball, because he has all the time in the world, my friends. He has all the time in the world. And Liverpool, you can see, have two players in the screen. That's Isak and Wirtz. Now, Sunderland have three, plus the goalkeeper, in almost a full half. So it's important to remember that, because you're going to see that a lot in this video. If you give professional footballers a full half of pitch to play in and do a 4v2, it's very, very easy for the team of four to keep the ball. Just watch what happens here. So Isak goes to press, and easy as pie, Roofs just knocks it into Xhaka, who can then just easily knock it into Alderete, and Sunderland get out of our press. It's literally that simple. The next furthest forward Liverpool player is Szoboszlai, who is almost out in his halfway line, and then randomly Gravenberch. And you'll see this a lot as well. Gravenberch, as seen by many as our most defensive midfielder. I think if you ask Liverpool fans who our most defensive midfielder is, out of Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, even Jones included in that argument, people would say Gravenberch. Yet you'll notice in this video, weirdly, he is consistently the furthest forward of the midfield three in this game, just pressing, apart from Wirtz. Makes no sense. He's way further forward than McAllister. It's baffling tactics. So easy for Sunderland to get out. First 5 minutes of the game at Anfield, so negative. Just a lack of anything from Liverpool. Pressing structure, non-existent. Let's compare this. That was the first time Sunderland's goalkeeper touched the ball, how easy it was for them to get out and play. This is the first time our goalkeeper touched the ball about 2 minutes later. Look at Sunderland. Immediately, you can see Sunderland are more positive than Liverpool. That's a giant problem. A giant problem. Let that sink in. Sunderland have come to Anfield as a newly promoted side and have been more positive than Liverpool have. That is unforgivable. It really is. And it was annoying me last night, and it annoyed me even more watching it back today. So that was a nice little way to spend my Thursday. But look, they've got Lefay. He's already started his run. You can see he's curving it this way, as we've seen, to try and force Liverpool to play the ball this way. They've got Brobby here ready to press if the ball goes. Xhaka's pushed right up on McAllister, so then this ball can't come into here. I mean, you can just about see Luke Hume's body is entering the frame, because he's got half an eye on Robertson in case Alisson decides to float the ball out here to Robbo. So Sunderland really aggressive, or not quite man-to-man, but matching up with Liverpool in that final third. What happens is Liverpool don't even try to play out. It's pathetic. The attempt to try and play out is pathetic. And to be honest, it's a good thing because we're awful at playing out. We have not played one that I can remember successful passing move that's gone from goalkeeper to attack basically this whole season. It doesn't happen. We have to be brave here, in my opinion. Alisson has to force this ball to Van Dijk before Talby can come and put the pressure on. And then we have to play from there. When the press comes, if Talby comes across and Xhaka comes and Hume comes, we have to try and move the ball into here. Can we move it into midfield? We don't do any of that. We just kick the ball long. It goes straight to Hume, who's in acres of space. There isn't a Liverpool player anywhere near him. He controls the ball, and we just surrender possession. It's alarming how just completely outmatched we were in large periods at home to Sunderland in that first half. And you're going to see so much more of it in this video. Here's another example of us with the ball at the back. So this time, we're trying to play out from a goal kick. Like I said, we are absolutely awful at this, and part of the reason why is on your screen. So Van Dijk's taking the goal kick. This isn't unusual. It's going to go to Alisson. Just look at our midfielders. Just look at our midfielders. Now, I don't know if this is a personal choice from our three midfielders, or if this is something they're being coached to do. So that leaves you with two solutions, and I've said this in previous videos before. In that situation, you're left with two answers. That either means if it's a personal choice, our midfielders are stupid and not very good at football, or if it's being coached by the manager, he's clueless. They're basically your two options. So you pick your poison, which one you'd rather it be. Because Gravenberch isn't even facing the ball. He literally isn't even looking. Neither is Szoboszlai. He's talking to who I can presume is Joe Gomez out on the wing. He seems to be telling him something. And then McAllister is facing the wrong way, but at least he's looking. But what you're seeing is not a single one of these midfielders is interested in showing for the ball. So we're never going to be able to play out through them because they don't come and show for the ball. I think this is a coaching thing. Because these players, it's just not in their nature to do this. So that worries me. Anyway, Maka, unbelievably, turns around and shows for the ball. So Ali passes him it. Gravenberch is just stood miles away. So just keep that in mind. You're going to see lots of Gravenberch in this video. Ali fires the ball to Maka. It's actually brave from McAllister. He gets onto it, plays it to Konate, and very, very simply, just in the same exact pattern of play that Sunderland did, where they laid it into Xhaka and out to Alderete, Liverpool get out. Except we don't, because we have Ibrahima Konate playing at centre-back, who's an absolute disaster. This is the easiest pass possible. All he has to do here is pop this ball forward, McAllister will get it, and all of this part of the pitch and leaving these two Sunderland players are out of the game. Completely done. Gone. Let's cross them out. Out from the game. No danger. Liverpool are out. Now, again, we see so much negativity from Liverpool in this next part of the clip. Szoboszlai telling Konate to go backwards. I don't know why, but he does. He does go backwards. Instead of just knocking it into McAllister, who's in so much space, he turns around and plays it right back to the goalkeeper. So disappointing, and just a complete lack of positivity and quickness in our play. Now, this is the same passage of play. It went to Alisson, and then it comes into midfield like this. We force Sunderland back. Same passage of play as what you've just seen. Now, we have another problem with Konate in possession. And this is why we can't build up, or part of the reason why we can't build up, guys. First of all, before we even talk about Konate, let's just talk more about the midfield. Gravenberch couldn't be stood in a less appropriate position to receive the ball if he tried, and he did this all game. He constantly, at the minute, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose or what, he constantly hides behind whoever's got the ball, the player that comes to press them, he just hides behind them all the time. And he's in a position constantly surrounded by players. If this ball came into here, it's a tough pass for Szoboszlai to play, and he just gets instantly pressed by probably about 4 Sunderland players. McAllister is making a run beyond our striker. He doesn't have any legs in the first place, so I don't know how he's going to do that. And Szoboszlai is our deepest midfielder, randomly. Our midfielders are basically stood in a straight line, so that's another thing. A vertical line, that is. Leaving Konate completely free as the only real passing option, and this is by design, by Sunderland. You can see they've basically anchored their entire team, except the left-back, over to this half of the pitch to leave him on his own. There's no concern. But Liverpool won't pass Konate the ball. Or we, at least in this game, tried not to pass him it. I don't know if that was a decision made to combat and not fall into Sunderland's pressing trap, and we were just going to be stubborn and not pass him the ball. But Szoboszlai doesn't pass him the ball there. He turns it down, he gives it to Van Dijk, and we force the ball back to this side where Sunderland know we're going to go. And you see Konate, he's got both his arms out as if to say, why am I not getting the ball? Another example, different passage of play, looks the exact same. That's because we watched the exact same thing over and over and over again when we have the ball. Except when Florian Wirtz gets it, but that's another story. We see again, this is Gravenberch this time on the ball. You see our midfield in a vertical line. It's absolutely baffling. I genuinely can't explain that to you guys. I could sit here and make a million videos. I can't explain it. Why? That's not a normal football formation. It really isn't. Like, what even is this setup? It's like a 3-1-1-1. What? I don't even know how many players are left. It's madness. And we see again Konate completely free, asking for the ball. Gravenberch on it this time. Just look at these next few photos and you'll see in just a couple pictures the complete summary of how slow Liverpool's attack is and why it's so easy to defend against them. What Gravenberch should do here, he's just had his first touch of the ball in this still image. He's literally just had this first touch. He's received it from Robertson and he's opened up the play with his touch. What he should do now is immediately ping this ball into Konate's path so he can take the space and we force Sunderland back, because when they come across here to press him, he can move it on to, he can move it on to Gomez quickly, or we can go back, but we'd have forced Sunderland backwards. Okay, what Gravenberch does instead is turn around, and he has another touch of the ball because he doesn't want to pass it to Konate, the same as what we've just seen Szoboszlai do. However, he then decides, actually, I'm gonna turn around again this way. He's having already too many touches of the ball. Something I was taught, I've said this, I talk about sometimes my own experience playing football. Like I said, I was a centre midfielder, and at different academy clubs that I played for when I was younger, one of the number one things that we were coached as young players playing in the middle of the pitch was not to have too many touches of the ball. It would be constantly shouted at us. If you had too many touches, you'd be yelled at. Too many touches, too many touches. Someone needs to yell it at Gravenberch. He's turned around now again to face Konate, and he should still pass him the ball. Again, Konate can take that space, he can give it to Gomez quickly, and we can advance up the pitch. He actually turns around again, but this time he's literally turned his entire back to Konate, who is still asking for the ball. Okay, this is now about 4 seconds of him being on the ball, which you might not think is a lot of time, guys, but that is so long for one player to have the ball, invested possession. It just makes this so easy for Sunderland to defend against. But we're not done there. He turns around again, dribbles a little bit, and then plays it to Konate. So we've had 2 full pirouettes and a little dribble before he played the pass he should have played about 6 seconds ago. We're so slow and so out of rhythm in our play. It's unbelievable. And the worst part is, you've got McAllister here with both of his arms up, as if to say, like, you know, calm, slow down, take your time. No, don't. We take too much time. I think this comes from the manager, personally. I think this comes from the manager. The ball actually goes out to Konate, but now the thing what we've done now is we've taken so long to pass it to him, and the pass itself isn't a good one. These are small details, but you can see how the pass is straight to his feet. So he couldn't step into the space. He has to control the ball with it coming towards him, and it allows Talby to really come in and press him before he can even force Sunderland back. So how does he react to this? Well, we know he's not that great on the ball, or he certainly isn't at the minute. His confidence is lower than the floor. It's in the depths of hell. So what does he do? Well, he just hoofs the fucker straight to Sunderland, and there you get the ball back. So we spent about God knows how long doing nothing with the ball in the middle to then just give it to Konate anyway and hoof it back to Sunderland. That is awful build-up. Terrible. Now Sunderland again with the ball, with the goalkeeper, another example. No, it's not the same clip as the one I showed you at the start of the video. But just look how easy it is for them. Look at the lack of emphasis, the lack of intensity, just no pressing structure whatsoever. None. Wirtz and Isak, the furthest forward players, and then again, like we said before, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch randomly. Where on earth is Gakpo? Well, you'll see him in a minute. Roofs has two choices. You can play it out here or you can play it out here. Neither of them have any pressure on them whatsoever. He chooses to go to Alderete. Isak runs over and Alderete just knocks it straight back to Robin Roofs, who now dribbles the ball out of his box like he's Edison because Liverpool are nowhere near him. The only ever situation this should have ever happened at Anfield is against Prime City when Edison was in the net, because he was as good as an outfield player and he could damage you from here if you pressed him too much, because City were that good at playing out that if you exposed your extra man, they'd shred through you. Well, forget exposing our extra man. We're hardly even on the same pitch as Sunderland at this point. I mean, Roofs can play the ball now to Ballard, which he does. Again, Wirtz starts to run over. It's so easy for Sunderland. There's no structure here to this press. It's just basically run after the ball as individuals. That's incredibly simple to play through if you're a professional football team. So Ballard, you can see the easy pass he has into Xhaka. You can now see the time he has on the ball. He takes it on his studs. He's got so much time to just set himself, get his head up, look for his next pass. Gravenberch is nowhere near it. I don't even know why this player is Gravenberch. Where on earth is McAllister? He's not even in the frame yet. How deep is he? He's at least 10 yards into his own half. Neither is Gakpo also not in Liverpool's attacking half yet. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, this first half. And I understand the premise of trying to be more defensively sound, but you've already seen Sunderland, the away side, the promoted side, more positive at Anfield than we were, and still managed to be able to defend. So that's a massive issue. The ball comes into Lafay. Now you see McAllister and Gakpo appear as if by magic. We actually win the ball here on the halfway line. But the fact that we're showing Sunderland this much respect, to me, I hate it. I actually hate it. Now, another example. Honestly, guys, I could have put 50 examples in of this, and I haven't. I actually ignored some, but I had to put some egregious ones in. Ballard again on the ball. Again, we see the same thing. It's those same four players, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, who are just about in Sunderland's half. And then Wirtz and Isak running around basically like idiots. They've got no chance of winning this ball. I feel bad for them, to be honest. They're never going to win it. Isak just runs towards Ballard, who just passes the ball simply back to Roofs, who's again just outside of his own box. You can see Isak is he's pointing now at Wirtz, saying, come on, you've got to come and mark Xhaka because the ball's going to come to Xhaka. He's trying to organise some sort of press, of something. So Wirtz does lean over towards Xhaka, but of course, Roofs can now just pass this ball under no pressure to Alderete, who has 20 yards before a Liverpool player gets anywhere near him, and Wirtz has to sprint over. And you can see Isak, his arms are out, he's saying, what on earth is going on? Wirtz runs over. Of course, if you press by just running at players as individuals, it's so easy to play around. You see Wirtz has vacated Xhaka. There's been no structure to move up and fill that space from any of our midfielders. So now Xhaka, in the middle of Anfield, away, this is 20 minutes into the game, has an absolute ocean of space in the middle. It's ridiculous. This should never happen, ever, at Anfield, ever. Doesn't matter who you are. Alderete just simply pops him the ball. McAllister comes running over. He's never getting it. He's nowhere near. Xhaka has all the time in the world, and he's too good of a player to ever be caught on the ball when he has so much time on it. He pops the ball into Talby, who is also just in acres of space. I do not understand Gravenberch's position here at all. Why is he not here? I can't get my head around it. He just does nothing at the minute. Talby gets the ball. Look at the space he has to receive. Look at the space Lafay's in, if you wanted to give it to Lafay. But Talby has a little run. Gravenberch just jogs alongside him like he's observing some sort of film. He just, honestly, he's such a passenger on the pitch at the minute. It's baffling. Isak's trying to get back in. To be fair to him, he makes an attempt. It's not his responsibility. It's ridiculous. And then we see Gakpo, who's standing at left back, holding Robbo's hand. Are we serious? They're playing hopscotch over here, are they? Both at left back together. Are they doing each other's hair? What's going on? Are they having a candlelit dinner? What is happening? Why is our left winger stood at left back? It is absolutely baffling. Talby runs on. The play breaks down. It is what it is. But don't worry, we're not finished there. Another example. This time, the only players that you can see on the screen are Isak and Wirtz. And you can see our goal here, we've actually tried, with two men, we've tried to funnel Sunderland to one side of the pitch. That's our goal. We're trying to funnel them this way. We're doing something. These two have decided we're going to do something. Okay? Ballard is in literally acres of space again. So Roos gives him the ball, obviously. Wirtz runs over. This picture is criminal. And honestly, Arne Slot should be arrested for crimes against football. To make it even more obvious, I'm going to remove my camera, right? So now you can see the entire half. Look at this. Just look. There's two Liverpool players in Sunderland's half of the entire pitch. At Anfield. Newly promoted Sunderland. Everyone else is in our own half from a goal kick. What on earth are we seeing? What are we seeing? Roofs is now 20 yards out of his penalty area, receiving the ball. Same move. Ballard again, calling for the ball. Everybody in their own half. He gets it. They pushed us back. He's just been able to run forward. Look at our back line. Gakpo and Robbo both stood at left back. We've got a back five. Szoboszlai's back to almost make a back six. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I honestly, when I was pulling together these photos, I couldn't believe how bad it was. Right, Liverpool on the ball this time. A rare situation that we actually had the ball in our own half, in Sunderland's half, sorry, for an attack. And this is where we see, basically, the only player who looks like they can do anything good for Liverpool at the minute is Florian Wirtz. And you see it here. And maybe Szoboszlai as well, he's involved. Gravenberch plays Wirtz the ball. He's the only one who does things quick, ever. First time pass to Szoboszlai, moves the ball quickly. That's what you need. Moves the ball, moves it again to receive it. Szoboszlai gives it him back. He gets a little bit of luck. The ball ricochets to him. He ends up having a shot from just outside the 6-yard box, which almost goes in the net. Roofs just gets his knee to it. Almost a goal. Basically all created just because he did something quick. He's the only one. And crucially, he's in the middle of the pitch when he does that. Now, Liverpool on build-up again. And this is an interesting thing that I noticed watching the game live yesterday, so I pulled it out in the clips for you here to look at as well. Something that we did yesterday that was a clear tactic from us was to, when Van Dijk got the ball and Sunderland were deep enough, instead of Robbo standing here, he would make a diagonal run towards the box to push Luke Hume back so then Van Dijk can pass this ball directly to Gakpo. That's what's happened here. You can see Robbo, he's pointing behind him saying, come on Gakpo, get in that space behind me. So Van Dijk does, he gives it to Gakpo. Would we like to play a game of Gakpo bingo, everybody? Would you like to guess what he's going to do with this ball? I'll let you have a little think. Okay, if your guess was run and cut inside, you were correct. You've won the bingo, which I'm sure all of you did because the whole world knows he's going to do this. He actually makes a bit of space on this one, but he crosses the ball straight to Dan Ballard. It's a terrible cross. Liverpool come out with the ball again from the little break of the header. It comes to Gakpo again. Again, let's play Gakpo bingo. What do you think Cody Gakpo does with this ball? Does he... In fact, let's do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'll give you two options. Does he A, wait for Robbo to come on the overlap and pass it him so then Robbo can play it across the face and maybe Isak can get a tap in? Or does he cut inside and shoot? Of course, he cuts inside and has a shot. Except this time, he realises his shot's going to be blocked by Xhaka, who knows this is coming because the entire footballing world knows this is coming. So he quickly tries to reverse his decision and play it to Robbo, except he overhits his pass because it's never on when he tries to do it and the ball goes out of play. A nicely wasted position by Gakpo, who was hooked at half-time for being atrocious. Right, Liverpool again, this time, pressing the ball. Wirtz, actually this time, has pressed right up to the goalkeeper. We've actually done a better job here. Wirtz has pressed the goalkeeper, Isak's up in front of Xhaka so he can't get it, and Szoboszlai is close enough to Alderete to force Roos to have to kick it long. So he does. But our structure just completely falls down instantly. All the good work that Wirtz, Isak and Szoboszlai have just done is completely ruined like this because of our midfielders. Notably here, Gravenberch. Now, this is only a small thing, guys, but it's very important. It really is. Sadiki is about to control this ball. He's literally controlling it as this clip is happening. And Gravenberch is 10 yards off him. That is not acceptable. He should be here, Gravenberch. So then when Sadiki controls the ball, he has no time whatsoever. Gravenberch can then maybe make a tackle. We can win it in this really dangerous area. He's nowhere near it. Why is he so deep? I do not understand why there is this gap between Sadiki and Gravenberch. I have no idea why he stood 10 yards off him. He runs towards him, but like we saw with McAllister trying to close down Xhaka earlier in the clips, he's too late. Sadiki's already had his touch to set himself and is now about to pass the ball to Xhaka and get out. It's way too late from Liverpool, and Gravenberch ends up being late to his tackle. He actually fouls Sadiki, and so Sunderland get a free kick. It just completely undoes all of our work because our pressing structure is diabolical, and that has to be coaching because that's something you can coach. It's really, it's frustrating. Right, now Liverpool on the ball. Look at Sunderland. Look at them. We've got the ball in our back line. Look at how aggressive they are and tight. Really tight over here. Really tight here. Robbie ready to press Canate. Sadiki up on Gravenberch. Lafay up on McAllister. Xhaka up on Szoboszlai. They're basically so much braver. And everything they're doing is better than us. It's astounding. The manager, Labrie, for Sunderland, actually said after the game, we were surprised by how much time we had to play. That is damning on Arne Slot. It really is. So what happens? Well, Gomez knocks the ball forward. We lose it. Sunderland get around it. Look how aggressive they are. Look how tight, compact, aggressive, intense they are. They win the ball back. It breaks to Luke Hume. And he gets the ball out of his feet under no challenge from Gravenberch, as per usual. As a shot, they hit the bar. Okay? And Arne Slot said, we'll get to Sunderland's goal shortly, that their goal wasn't even a chance. Is this not a chance either when they hit the bar? He's delusional. He is delusional. Now, again, I'm going to highlight something Liverpool did well. A rare occasion in the first half, but not rare that it came from Florian Wirtz. In the middle of the pitch, a ball breaks to him on the volley, left foot, weaker foot, puts this beautiful pass over to Gakpo. Brilliant pass. Gakpo has the ball one-on-one. Really promising position. It's our favourite game again. Gakpo bingo. What's he going to do? Well, once again, he's going to cut inside and he's going to try and shoot. This time, his shot gets blocked. Honestly, I don't even need to tell you how bad it is. Waste of an attack. Second half now. And to send you into an even more state of confusion, or me at least, to confuse me even more, second half kicks off, and we decided, okay, now we're going to press. And I just cannot understand that. I just cannot understand why we didn't do it from the first minute. We basically just wasted a half of football. We just wasted it. And if we didn't waste it, if we'd have played like this from the first minute, then we'd have probably won. But we didn't. And we do it every game. We just waste the first half. It's shocking. Look now, Salah. He's come on. He's pressing roofs. And look, immediately we've got players further forward. Not an amazing press from Liverpool here, but we're forcing him to kick it long. Kicks it long, and Gomez gets the ball. And we've won the ball back. Compare that to the first half when they were just playing passes out to 3 centre-backs. It's different. I don't know why it didn't happen at the start. Another situation. Roofs again with the ball. Salah, curved press. Cut off half the pitch. It's good from Salah. Verts, high enough. Isak, close to Xhaka. This is a bit better. The ball comes in. And look at Robbo, really aggressive. This is how Gravenberch should be. This is what I'm talking about. Remember Siddiqui getting the ball? And Gravenberch is stood like here. So Siddiqui could control the ball and pass it. If Robbo was there, Hume could do the same and he could probably play it out to Mukiele. But this is not Gravenberch. This is Robbo, a player who knows how to make a tackle and has been a brilliant servant for Liverpool. He gets right in, nice and tight, wins the ball back for Liverpool. We get a chance from it. Much better. Now, this is us trying to play out again. And again, I'm going to highlight Gravenberch, who I thought was genuinely awful in this game. This is an example of how not to play midfield. I don't know if he's low on confidence or if he's just out of form. He was terrible. This is Alisson on the ball. I like this nice high image I've got of the angle because he can show really obviously how bad our midfield shows for this ball. He's looking desperately for someone to pass it to. He can't go to either of the centre-backs because Sunderland are really brave and have put 2 players basically right on both of them. Really brave from Sunderland. So Liverpool have to use that to their advantage and drop midfielders into this space so Alisson can pass on the ball. Szoboszlai's our more attacking midfielder and he's made the best run. This is a risky pass though because it's the big distance and Bobby could nick in and intercept it. It's a risky ball. Same with this one to McAllister. The distances are too big. You want to see these 2 players come closer and then maybe Alisson can play it and they can bounce it off and we can get out. But we're not brave enough. We don't do that. And the least brave of them all is Ryan Gravenberch, who is hiding, again, behind Granit Xhaka. Literally hiding. He doesn't make an attempt at all to show for this ball. All he has to do is take a few steps back this way, draw Xhaka with him, and then quickly make a dart towards the edge of the box. Alisson can pass in the ball. He'll have a couple of yards on Xhaka. He can maybe spread it out wide to Gomez. We can get out. It's not difficult. Honestly, I could do it. And I'm nowhere near a professional level centre midfielder. Alisson then is completely strung with no one to pass the ball to. Now what he does itself is not good enough. He just floats the ball out straight to Sunderland. He tries to give it to Robbo. But he was hand-tied a little bit by Liverpool's lack of showing for the ball. So I will cut him a little bit of slack. The ball goes into Lafay. Sunderland have pressed us high and won the ball. Again, newly promoted side at Anfield. Lafay, acres of space, crosses the ball in. Konate has to flick it on and concede a corner. This is from our own build-up. Shocking. Now, this is the corner. Put this little clip in, and I thought this was really interesting. This is Alderete here, just behind me, number 15. The important thing here, look at his hand. He's pointing, he's looking at the corner taker, and he's pointing where he wants the ball. It's really important. We've got McAllister on him because we're thinking we're going to block him running this way, right? He's not interested in going this way. Look, he's pointing the other way. Sure enough, they take the corner and Alderete has ran exactly where he said he was going to run. Mo Salah is stood here doing absolutely naff all. I don't know why we make Salah go back. He should be the only one left up for corners. Or if you're going to make him go back, he should be sitting here on the edge of the box. McAllister is, I don't even know where. He's disappeared into the ether. Alderete just ran straight off him. Free header at the near post. He hits the post. Almost scores. I'd like to ask Arne Slot, is this a chance? Or does this not count either? I'd like to ask him. Right. This is the goal. This is the goal. Right. A long goal kick from Sunderland. First error. Konate doesn't win this header. Isidore bullies him in the air. Wins it. Konate's actually quite decent in the air, so I won't get on his back for always losing headers. You're not going to win every single one, but it's the first error in this particular goal. The biggest error is Van Dijk. What he does here on this goal is shambolic. It really is, and it's painful to watch. I think it's the boots, to be honest, the banana boots. They're absolute shambles. he controls this ball, sort of bobbles it off his knees, but at this point, he's in possession. There's actually no danger. All he has to do is pass it to McAllister, or he can go back to Alisson if he wants. But he just panics. He just loses his head a bit and just wellies the ball into the middle straight to Sunderland. Just gives it away so needlessly. Now we're in trouble. The ball comes to Talby. He's allowed to jog forward with it, and then his effort to block it is an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace. I don't know why he seems to block shots like this. He runs back, he turns side on, and then he turns his back and wafts a leg at it. It deflects off him, it goes in, and Arne Slot said, it's not even a chance. Well, I think it's a joke, to be honest. Luckily, we managed to salvage a point because of Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz. Liverpool, desperate for a goal now, trying to push on. I don't know why we don't play with this intensity from the first minute. It's completely baffling to me. Jones, really tight on Talby. As soon as he takes his first touch, nips in, wins the ball, like Gravenberch should have done earlier. I'll keep banging that drum. Wirtz makes a good run. Back in the middle now. Do you notice how we haven't seen Wirtz the entire second half? That's because he was stood on the left wing, and it's pointless. That's another massive issue that Slot keeps doing. Every time he puts him on the left wing, it's the worst thing ever. He's back in the middle here, and it's no coincidence that he creates this goal. It's an own goal, but it's all his work, and Jones as well. Jones gives him the ball, but then the individual brilliance from Wirtz comes out, and it's the first real time we've seen his full real dribbling potential in my eyes. He feints beautifully with his right foot to send Reynaldo back, opens up the space for him to then drive into the box. He feints again, puts Ballard on his arse, knocks the ball in after a little deflection off Mukiele. It's really good from Wirtz and good from Jones as well. But we're going to finish the video today on what could become, I was thinking about this, a real defining moment of Arne Slot's time at Liverpool. Because this is the Chiesa block on the line. And we know Chiesa is probably the player under Slot who's been mistreated the most. I think all Liverpool fans would agree he's not had a fair rub of the green at Liverpool. Yet here, he saves the goal and he saves the game for Liverpool. And you'll see it in a second when I move the clips on. But it's quite funny to me because if Arne Slot is able to turn this around and is able to have a successful career at Liverpool, which as of right now, I'm not confident he will, by the way. But if he does so, you can make an argument that Federico Chiesa saved his job. Because not that I think he'd get sacked directly after this game if we lost it, but the butterfly effect of what could happen if we did lose this game versus a draw could be massive, and it could save him his job in the long run. Yet, if he doesn't and he does get sacked, we might still look back on this moment, but in a different way completely, and say, there's Chiesa, mistreated by Arne Slot, still doing things like this to try and keep him in his job. Roos kicks the ball long. They go through one-on-one. I don't know where on earth our team is, to be honest. I don't know why Chiesa's the only one back, but he sprints back. He doesn't give it up. Alisson does well, forces Isidore wide, and Chiesa, on the line, stops it going in. And my favourite part of the whole game was this photo right here. You can just about see it. Pretty low quality, but you can just about see Chiesa fist pumping the Anfield Road end, celebrating that block he's made. I just absolutely love him. What a fella to have the attitude he does under the treatment he has. Remember, this guy wasn't even registered for the Champions League squad. He's been disrespected, I think, as a footballer. If he'd have turned around when he got this ball in this position here and just wellied the thing into the net, I wouldn't have blamed him. I honestly wouldn't have blamed him. We'll finish looking at this game, looking at this photo of Chiesa saving the day and celebrating it till the very, very last whistle. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I really do hope you did enjoy it, and if you did enjoy, please do drop a like on it. We're trying to get to 20 likes on each of our videos at the minute, so drop a like. And guys, comment away below, and I'm going to ask you a question. Now, my dad asked me this question today, and I want to ask you, if Liverpool lose on Saturday to Leeds, do you want Arne Slot sacked? Or should we give him to the new year? Or are you just happy to ride it out with him no matter what? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you are new to the channel, Drop a subscribe as well. We're trying to get to 250 subscribers. So anyone who does click subscribe, if you've watched to this point, I would really appreciate that. Got plenty more videos coming of this sad team at the minute. Guys, also, tomorrow night I am out with work, so there is a good chance there is no preview for the Leeds game. So I do apologise for that, but I only have so much time, everyone. I have to say, there will be ratings on Saturday, of course, after the game. So if I don't speak to you before then, I'll see you on Friday for the match ratings. But like, comment, subscribe on this video, all that good stuff. Podcast listeners, thanks for listening. 5-star rating and reviews as well. Speak to you all on the weekend, if not before. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.